Welcome back Year 13. I hope everyone's had a fantastic summer. This is our Year 13 assembly video for the week commencing the 6th of September 2021. Now the first thing I want to mention is that our senior management team have slightly changed the timings of the school day. School still starts at 8:30 and ends at 3:05, but we've taken out some of the transition times. There's now a half an hour break from 10:30 to 11. And form tutor time is now 12 till 12:30. Now period 1 is 8:30 to 9:30, period 2 is 9:30 to 10:30, break is 10:30 to 11, period 3 is 11 till 12, tutor time is 12 till 12:30, lunch is 12:30 to 1, period 4 starts 1:05 to 2:05, and period 5 is 2:05 to 3:05. Now the reason for these changes is that the transition time is not needed now because we're removing most of the one-way system. We are, however, planning to keep the one-way system in the maths and science block because the corridors are very narrow, and also in the English block. Okay, so that's where the one-way system will be. The bulk of the one-way system is being removed as we go back to normality. Now Miss Robbins and our senior leadership team have asked all staff to have a greater focus and emphasis on mobile phones and uniform this year. Year 12 and Year 13 students are the only students allowed to have mobile phones, but you can only use them in the sixth form study area or the sixth form cafe. You cannot use mobile phones anywhere else. Outside, sat on the benches, you are not allowed to use mobiles. Also walking around the school site and in lessons, you can only use them inside the sixth form study area and inside the sixth form cafe. All staff have been instructed to confiscate mobile phones of all students, including sixth formers, if you are not obeying this rule. So please do not use your mobile phone outside the two areas that I've told you about. Now your form tutor will go through a PowerPoint that Miss Robbins has produced, which will give you more information about mobile phones and also uniform after this video. So once you watch this video, your form tutor will show you this PowerPoint. It goes through the uniform policy in detail and it goes through the mobile phone policy in detail. So please listen carefully to your form tutor when they go through this information with you. Now once again, we're going to give Year 12 and Year 13 students study leave privileges. That means that you're allowed to work at home during study periods. However, you must attend all lessons and all tutorial periods. Even if you have no lessons in a morning or an afternoon or even the whole day, we expect you to attend your tutor time period, which is 12 till 12:30. Now tutorial periods are going to be vital because they give you crucial careers guidance. They help you with apprenticeship applications, they help you with university applications, and they're also going to help you organise your time effectively and also pass on revision tips and organisation tips and study tips that will be essential for you to achieve your potential. Now the other reason that it's important to attend all lessons and tutorial periods is that when you apply for university or when you apply for an apprenticeship or school leavers program or even a volunteering placement, increasingly these organisations are asking the students to provide them with copies of their attendance data. And I've completed 3 references this week where I've had to list every day a student has been absent and the reason for it. So if you are missing tutorial periods and you are missing lessons, your attendance data is not going to reflect how good a student you are, and therefore you risk not getting that university place or that apprenticeship opportunity. So please ensure that you attend all lessons and all tutorial periods. Now once again, to keep everyone safe, we have signing in and out procedures. So as soon as you arrive on the school site, you need to sign in. What you do is you go to the sheets that will be in the foyer, the sixth form centre, and by your name, you put the time that you arrived on the school site. So if you arrive at 8:30, you write down 8:30 next to your name. If you arrive at 9:25, you write down 9:25. It's really easy. Now if you leave before the end of the school day for whatever reason, you put the time in the signing out box. So if you leave at 2:05 because you didn't have a lesson period 5, you write 2:05 in the signing out box. Now we only require you to sign out if you leave before the end of the school day. if you have 5 lessons and you finish your lessons at 3:05, you don't need to walk back to the sixth form centre to sign out, because we know you've been on the school site for the whole day. It's only if you leave before the end of the school day that we need you to sign out with the time on the signing out sheets. Now, once again, I want to take the opportunity to reinforce this point. If you're a student who has no lessons on a particular day, we expect you still to turn up to this tutor period at 12 o'clock. This is this dedicated time where your form tutor will be helping you with study skills, university applications, apprenticeship applications, etc. It's also that 30 minutes every day where they're there to support you with your organisational skills, your well-being, etc. So please make every effort to turn up to that. That is a compulsory session and we expect you to be there. Now this morning we're going to issue you with your timetable and your enrolment form and a tutorial booklet. Now the enrolment form is vital. This form tells us which subjects you're going to carry on and which subjects you intend to drop, and we need this returned quickly because we want to get the registers correct so your attendance is spot on. Now the enrolment form requires you to get signatures for the subjects that you're carrying on and signatures for any that you're dropping. And once you've got this form completed, you could get this completed today, couldn't you? Or certainly in the next couple of days. You hand it back in to the sixth form team, and Mr. Barker, who's covering for Mrs. Perks, will collect this form. He'll be sat at a desk. He's going to be working 10 till 2, and he'll have a box for you to put it in. So please get this form completed as soon as possible. Now remember that the sixth form team, your form tutors and subject teachers are on hand to support you in making decisions about options, and there's no pressure to drop a subject at this stage. You can keep all 4 subjects if you want to and then drop a subject later. So if you need any advice, please come and see me or Miss Jones or any member of the sixth form team, the tutor team or your subject teachers. Now the school will be following Welsh Government guidance and local authority guidance to keep everyone safe. We encourage you to continue to take responsibility in terms of your hygiene, so washing hands regularly and using hand sanitizer when entering and leaving rooms and workspaces. We're going to keep the one-way systems in maths and science and English because the corridors are quite narrow. Face coverings must be worn on buses and public transport. However, around school and in lessons, it will be optional. Now, we also encourage all students to take regular lateral flow tests. These are important in keeping everyone safe, and you can pick up boxes of these from Mr. Barker, who will be sat at Mrs. Perks' desk. Now, once again, each year group will have designated areas that they can use at break times and lunch times. So for sixth formers, you have the sixth form cafe, you have the sixth form centre, you have the seating outside the sixth form centre and the demountables, etc. So that is your area. That's where we want you to be at break times and lunch times. You can eat in the sixth form study room. However, it's really, really important that you respect this environment and any rubbish is put in the bin. We want to keep this as a lovely study area. So we will give you permission to eat in the sixth form centre. However, it's important that all rubbish goes in the bin. And on really nice days, we would encourage you to be outside as much as possible. Now, it's important that everyone utilises their tutorial periods this year. Now, they're there to support your well-being, but also to help you with apprenticeships and university applications and job applications. Now, every person requires a personal statement, whether they're applying to uni or not. If you're applying for apprenticeships, all apprenticeship forms have sections on them where you have to write about your hobbies and your interests and the different experiences that you've had in school and the skills you've developed. So you need to have a personal statement there that you can adapt for each application. All students in Year 13 need a personal statement to pass the Welsh Baccalaureate as well. So you need to make use of your form tutor who's there to help you with this. Now, the only exception with personal statements and form tutor support is if you're applying for Oxbridge or medicine, dentistry or veterinary science, because if you're applying for those, it's Miss Jennings that will help you. And if you're applying to a conservatoire, such as a Royal Welsh College of Music, it's Miss Jones that will support you with this. You need to make contact with her. Now, last year, for the first time, I think in around about 20 years, the Ucas deadline was extended. It's going to be extended again this time. Normally, the deadline is January the 15th. However, it's now January the 26th. This is a recent change. Oxbridge Veterinary Science, Medicine, Dentistry applications have a deadline of October the 15th. Now remember, the RADA deadlines are a lot earlier than that because we have to make sure everyone has a personal statement, has filled the form in properly. We have to write you a reference. We have to check predicted grades, match your courses with you, and make sure that you've completed every part of the Ucas form. So now let's look at our RADA deadlines. If you're applying to Oxford, Cambridge, or for veterinary science, medicine, or dentistry, you're an early applicant, and therefore we'd like you to get your application form and personal statement completed by Friday the 17th of September. Now for all other applicants, our RADA deadline is Friday the 5th of November. Now as head of sixth form, I have to set you a date that everyone should aim for so that we can all get applications completed and sent off by the January deadline. So what I'm saying by giving you this deadline of Friday the 5th of November is that I'm confident that everyone turned up on that date, we would still be able to process your forms and submit your applications by the January deadline. Now the reality is that many students will have completed and sent off their Ucas forms before the 5th of November. And that means that Miss Jones and I will be able to process applications after the 5th of November. We will have time to do that. And every year we will process applications in December and sometimes even January because we only have a small number of applications to deal with. However, the earlier you get your form completed and sent off, the quicker you tend to get Ucas offers. And universities will often respond to students within 48 hours of them sending their forms off. Now the way the process works is that we ask all subject teachers to write you a subject reference and they will give you a Ucas predicted grade. Now we've asked all subject teachers to be as positive as possible and to take into account that most students improve a lot in year 13. Now many of you will receive Ucas predicted grades that are several grades higher than you received in the summer, and this is because your teachers will be well aware that most students improve significantly from year 12 to year 13. Studying higher level work will really develop your knowledge in subjects, and teachers will be well aware of this. Typically around 45% of all exam results in year 12 are a B grade or higher. Now in year 13 it's around 75%, so you can see lots of students improve. Now your teachers will be well aware of this, and that's why your Ucas predicted grades will be really positive. Now once we get the subject references from all your teachers, myself, Miss Jones or Miss Jennings, depending on who your referee is, will put a school reference together and we will read you that reference. It will be a very positive reference and we will pick out all the good things that the teacher said about you and combine it in one reference. We'll also talk about some of your extracurricular activities as well. And we will never send this off until you're happy with this reference. If you are unhappy with the Ucas predicted grades, as a referee we cannot raise them. However, you are encouraged to go and talk to your subject teachers and the head of department for that subject, and we advise you to ask them if you can show them evidence of higher level work. And most teachers, most heads of department, if they see higher level work, they've been happy to raise Ucas predicted grades. Now, if you're applying for apprenticeships, school leavers programs, or jobs, and you need references from us, it's exactly the same process. We will write a school reference based on what your subject teachers tell us. Now, if you're in Austin, Curie, Freud, or Holmes, I am your Ucas Referee, so I'll be working with you once you've completed personal statements with your form tutor. And if you're in Keynes, Pascal or Thomas, Miss Jones will be your Ucas Referee. And if you're an early applicant, it'll be Miss Jennings. And if you're applying for conservatoires, such as the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, you need to see Miss Jones as soon as possible because you have an even earlier deadline. Sometimes the conservatoires is the 1st of October, so you need to see her straight away if you're thinking of applying to a conservatoire. Now, as a Ucas Referee, our job is to take the comments from the subject teachers and put it into one reference, and then we'll also talk about your contribution to the whole school as well. And we'll also sit down with you and check that you've completed the form properly, and we'll try to improve on your statement once your form tutor has worked with you to get it to a reasonably good standard. Now, if you're applying for a conservatoire, as I mentioned previously in presentations, you need to look at this website. It's Ucas Conservatoire's website because it's a separate application process. You also need a practical reference and an academic reference. Miss Jones will write your academic reference. You need a practical reference. Now, a practical reference could be from a music teacher or drama teacher in school or outside school. So, for example, if you were somebody that played the trumpet and you've been taught by a certain music teacher over the last 5 or 6 years, they may be the perfect person to comment about your trumpet playing. So that's how that works. You have a practical reference and you have an academic reference. So for the rest of this presentation, I just want to draw your attention to resources that can help you. So ucas.com is a great resource whether you're applying for apprenticeships or university. It has great careers resources. It has search engines for taster courses. It has careers quizzes. Obviously, you can search for university courses via it, and it's a great resource for researching your next steps. Now, don't forget, you also have access to Unifrog, and remember, the Uni in Unifrog stands for Universal. It's a universal platform for people interested in apprenticeships and university, school leavers programs, etc. If you're applying for Oxford and Cambridge, don't forget to look at the Oxbridge tool on Unifrog. It's really useful. If you're thinking of doing a MOOC to improve your personal statement, remember those massive open online courses. You can search for them via Unifrog. The apprenticeship tool updates every 24 hours. You can search for apprenticeships and school leavers programs via Unifrog, and it's a really powerful tool. So don't forget this. If you've lost your password, see Mrs. Siciliano and she will be able to get you a new password. Don't forget also to utilize our RADA careers website, which is called Next Steps. We put all the careers guides and Ucas guides on this website, and it has links directly to companies that offer apprenticeships. It's got lots of resources to help you write covering letters and write a CV, and it also contains links and resources to help you for Oxbridge, and if you're thinking of gap years, there's lots of resources to help you for that as well. So please check out this website. It contains a lot of information. Now, two of the resources that are on our Next Steps website are our Ucas guide, which has also been emailed to you, which has everything you need to know about setting up a Ucas account and completing a Ucas form and writing a personal statement, etc. And our Careers and University Resources Guide, which contains sections on apprenticeships, sections on Oxbridge, sections on supercurricular activities, medicine, dentistry, veterinary science, etc. So those are the two resources I would urge you to check out first if you go on to our careers website, Next Steps. Now, another resource that you should be utilizing is our RADA 6 from YouTube channel, and we have lots of videos to help you with personal statements, to help you search for university courses, to help you search for apprenticeships, to help you make the most out of Unifrog, to help you find the right MOOC for you. There's loads of resources on there, and there's hours and hours of video content, so we ask you to check these out, and we really think they're going to help you prepare applications for university, school leavers programs or apprenticeships. Now, if you're thinking of applying for an apprenticeship or school leavers program, you need to be regularly checking out the Careers Wales website because it gets updated every 24 hours and they have a search tool for you to use. And websites that I've recommended previously, like ratemyapprenticeship.co.uk, which is a fantastic website where it has lots and lots of opportunities listed and reviewed by people currently undertaking the apprenticeship scheme. There's other websites as well, such as Not Going to Uni and allaboutschooleavers.co.uk, which I would also recommend. Now, to support you with career choices, we're going to continue our RADA webinar series. And on the 15th of September at 5 p.m, we have Charlotte Innes, a former student who's studying at Edinburgh, and she's going to talk about applying for medicine and what it's like to study medicine at university. So if you're applying for medicine or even dentistry, because it's a very similar application process, it would be well worth you attending that talk. Now, if you're a student interested in engineering, we've got our former head girl, Grace Morgan, who's studying engineering at Cardiff University, and she'll be giving a talk on the 23rd of September at 5 p.m. on Microsoft Teams. So please make every effort to attend that. And if you're a student interested in Oxford or Cambridge, we've got two former students. We've got Poppy Atkinson Gibson and Katie Long, who are both at Oxford. Poppy is studying history and Katie is studying geography. And this would be an excellent talk to attend on the 28th of September. Now, on the 30th of September, the University of Exeter have agreed to put on a talk via Zoom for us, and they'll be giving an introduction to university and what Exeter has to offer. And they'll be talking about choosing courses and choosing universities. And it's a great opportunity for Year 12 students and Year 13 students to get advice from admission teams. And Exeter are an excellent university and they have a really supportive admission team and school liaison team. And they'll be there to offer lots of advice. Now, we have lots of other talks planned. The University of South Wales have agreed to do a talk for us on degree apprenticeships. And they'll be talking about different degree apprenticeship opportunities. They'll also be talking about personal statements for students who are interested in universities or apprenticeships. And I'll let you know the date of that when I get further information. We've also made contact with Swansea University and they'll be talking about humanities courses and business courses and management courses and accountancy, etc. And again, that date is still to be confirmed. Now, we're coming to the end of this video now. And after you've watched this video, your form tutor is going to take you through a PowerPoint that Miss Robbins has put together. And this will be important because it talks a little bit about COVID restrictions and it also talks about mobile phones and uniform policy. Now, once you've seen that PowerPoint, in the next couple of tutorials, you're going to be working through your Year 13 tutorial booklet. And this first booklet gives you an opportunity to reflect on how it went last year and what you've learnt from studying at RADA in Year 12. And then it will focus on planning for the future. And we want you to rate your skills in certain areas. So we want you to rate them as red if you have no knowledge or skills in a particular area, amber if you have a little knowledge, and green if you feel confident about a certain aspect of careers. And we've put together this booklet which gives you really useful links to videos from our YouTube channel and from our careers website where you can find the information. So for example, if you don't understand the different levels of apprenticeships, we have given you links to actually go out and research that. And we want all the areas of careers that you rate as red to improve over the next few days when you watch these videos, when you look at this information, and then they should be changing from red to amber to green. Now, I will give you an electronic version of this document because it allows you to click on the links as well so that you can watch the videos with your headphones on and you can improve your knowledge over the next few tutorials. I want everyone's book to have these different aspects rated as green so you're confident with careers, apprenticeships, universities, you understand what Network 75 is, etc. That's what the focus is for the first week in terms of tutorial periods. Now, this booklet also contains examples of personal statements that can be used for apprenticeships or university courses, and we want you to work with a partner or in a small group to decide what is good about the statement and what is bad about the statement and how it can be improved. And your form tutor will go through this with you. We will give your form tutor the feedback that the universities and employers said about the statement so they can go through this with you. We've also included examples of writing frames that you could use for an apprenticeship application or a university application. So this should really help you prepare for your next steps. So it's great to have everyone back in school. I hope you have a really enjoyable first term. And if you have any issues or problems, please don't hesitate to come and see myself, Miss Jones, or a member of the sixth form team, because we'll do everything we can to support you.